And what's up, everybody? Back with another episode of the Live, Laugh, Left podcast. Still early into season 4. I've got it right. I've got it down. Episode number 105. And we've got a lot to talk about today. The duels in the books just last night. And we're going to go over everything that happened there. Who missed the Daytona 500, who got in, and who are showing themselves as contenders for the wins so far, if anybody. I got another drink to try. In fact, me and Gary both have the same drink to try, so that's pretty cool. We'll try that in a little bit. We only have a couple of silly season stuff relating just as we get going for the Daytona 500, so there's not a whole lot to talk about in that regard. And then, of course, at the end, we will preview and make our picks for the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. So, very, very exciting stuff.
And this time, I will actually make sure that there is a record between me and Tyler in the picks. For our picks, we probably won't use the poker chips because I forgot to grab them. But, I mean, it's alright. Yeah. We'll start the poker chips next week.
Anyway, before we get going with the duels, I want to try this drink real quick. Gary got it too, so we're going to have a duel review today. It is Blackberry Dr. Pepper. Gary's actually got the zero sugar version of the drink. So we're going to kind of get two different perspectives here. This is the another one that I bought when I went to the store the other week. I got one more that I'll try next week.
Has 0 grams of protein. I wonder why.
Blackberry Dr. Pepper. This is similar to a couple years ago when they did that Jurassic World promotion, but that was dark berry, or I think it was like something like that. I don't remember. Never had a blackberry version before, so let's give it a shot.
I don't know if you could hear mine, but I just clicked mine at the same time. 0 sugar.
Whoa.
It does taste like blackberry, though.
Smells like blackberry.
Smells, sorry. Yeah. Oh, I got some on my nose.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Ooh.
You know, I don't know what it tastes like for you because you don't have the 0 sugar. Me, I'm not that kind of person that drinks 0 sugar unless it's Mountain Dew. But, I actually like this.
I like this too.
That's shocking.
It has kind of shitty aftertaste. Kind of copperish aftertaste.
Oh, yeah. But I think you get that with any type of flavored, drinkish kind of thing.
That's not true. But anyway, it's alright though. A few of my friends have tried it. They said it was mid at best, and so I was kind of having my low expectations. But hey, I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
And I don't hate the 0 sugar, so
it's an easy 7 for me, probably. I like it.
Yeah, same. I mean, it's not up there yet, but
anyway. Now I can drink that for the remainder of the episode. Anyway, now let's get talking about these duels. This was the first duels in a while that had implications as far as drivers missing the Daytona 500, or at least several drivers missing the Daytona 500. There were highest amount of cars attempting the race in a while. So the stakes were a little bit higher. For the first duel, there were several mechanical problems before the race even started. Chase Elliott had to have an extended pit stop before the race began to fix a brake issue. who? Fuck. Hold on.
It was Chase Elliott. I know Ross Chastain was a part of it.
Yeah, Ross Chastain had to finish. Actually, was off the pace at the start of the race, and he had to start in the back. And also, Ryan Preece also had issues before the race started. So that was very interesting. It didn't end up severely affecting anybody. Chastain did start the race out of the draft. But thankfully for him, this first duel was a wreck fest, so he didn't end up losing any laps as a result. First caution came out early. Zane Smith blew a tire, hit the wall. He decided to just park it after that, even though it looked like it could have been probably fixed. We know with this next-gen car, the inner workings don't are not stable. The biggest wreck of the night was... the biggest wreck of this race, I should say, was a little bit ways after that. Chandler Smith took an incredibly hard hit to the outside wall. He had to spend an extended amount of time in the infield care center due to the hit, but he was okay. It also took out Justin Haley and, sadly, Elio Castroneves, who was trying to attempt the Daytona 500. He is out.
Bye. Fun. Have fun going back to IndyCar. Bye.
Remember, he's still gonna be in the 500 because of his because of that new
provision. Doesn't matter. Spot. He sucks. Doesn't matter. He sucks. Bye.
And a bunch of other drivers were collected in the wreck, but were able to survive, like Ty Gibbs, Tyler Reddick was collected in it as well, and a few others. It kind of calmed down after that. There was a couple of debris cautions that set up a nice mad dash to the finish, in which Bubba Wallace won his first ever dual race. So
it was funny how legit not even a couple weeks ago I was looking on Twitter and there was a picture that was shown of a guy putting a middle finger to Bubba Wallace, and Bubba Wallace commenting that person probably has no teeth. And yet he wins a duel.
True. Chandler Smith and J.J. Yaley were both eliminated from the 500 after this race, while the transfer spots went to Justin Allgaier. So we're going to see that Junior Motorsports car attempt the 500. And Martin Truex was already locked in beforehand, but he also now is officially in as well.
I think that's still a slap in the face, honestly.
Castroneves was also locked in using that new provisional spot that was granted just earlier this offseason. So that was the first duel. Bubba Wallace locked himself in as well to the New Year's Eve Spectacular with a... he's the 10th driver to get in now. So that's pretty good. But we still had one more race to go in duel number 2. This race was a lot calmer than the first one. There were green flag pit stops, as which we saw 3 pit penalties for 2 fast exiting, all from very experienced drivers, which was kind of a concerning sight to see. But alas, didn't really matter, as if right after the pit stops, the wreck finally came when there was just a really, really terrible block pulled by Chris Buescher trying on everybody, trying to pull the lead. And it just caused a major chain reaction that saw Alex Bowman, Brad Keselowski, and Daniel Suarez all wreck out of the race, which was just a terrible, terrible circumstance. It didn't need to happen. It's a dual race. I know there's technically points on the line, but not that many. It was just not necessary to pull a block like that in a race like that and cause that wreck. But kind of set up a nice, exciting, well, it was supposed to be an exciting finish. It looked like at first the field was rounded. Turn 4 was a drag race between Eric Jones and Austin Cindric. While the field wrecked behind them, And it looked like originally Eric Jones beat out Cindric by just a slight margin. It was a photo finish, and Jones was going to win the race as everybody pretty much else wrecked behind them. But NASCAR couldn't help themselves and stepped in and threw the caution 50 feet from the checkered flag. And after extensive replay review, it was determined that Austin Cindric was ahead at the time of caution.
I tell you, Penske drivers getting everything they want when it comes
It
to
was
Jordan.
a bad call. It was a bad call because Cindric himself didn't believe that it was real, and he thought he had lost. And then he tried to backtrack on his interview and say, "Oh, I knew I was ahead at the time of caution." No bullshit. No, you didn't know. You didn't know. You didn't know shit. That was bullshit. At the end of the day, it's probably not going to mean much. Eric Jones still is going to start fourth because Cindric was already on the front row, so it doesn't affect his starting position. It kind of affects for points, but at the end of the day, if it comes down to 1 point, you didn't deserve it anyways, is my opinion. So there you go. But it's a bullshit because NASCAR didn't need to throw the caution. There was only one car that wasn't involved in the wreck, that was behind the wreck, and that was Christopher Bell, who was off the pace, so he wasn't going to be affected by it at all. So NASCAR's reasoning that, we didn't want more cars to wreck because we didn't throw the caution. Bullshit. NASCAR just loves to micromanage everything and just has to think, just step in and affect everything.
Their their, what's the word? Button. They're trigger happy. I'm just going to say.
Yep. So, that was bullshit. And then you had Kevin Harvick. This is the funniest part right here. You had Kevin Harvick after the race defending NASCAR's decision. And then everybody on Twitter was reposting the 2007 Daytona 500 finish and how if that caution rule had been in place, he wouldn't have won it. And it's true.
No.
Mark Martin himself even posted it on Twitter.
People should have posted that one thing when he wrecked the entire field by not driving and not going into the first gear or second gear at Talladega and just wrecking the whole entire field, and then making Junior not win the race at Talladega and give it to stupid Giggles.
True. Yeah, so it was a bullshit finish. Cindric won. He locks himself into the New Jersey Spectacular as well. He makes the 11th driver now. As far as who made the Daytona 500, as if it couldn't get any worse, Corey LaJoie qualified for the Daytona 500, along with Jimmy Johnson getting a speed provisional to get himself in. That kicked Anthony Alfredo and BJ McLeod out of the Daytona 500. So that was that. As far as the duels go, it was kind of hard to gauge who was going to be the fastest and who wasn't. There were a ton of wrecks, lots of cautions, pit penalties, mechanical mishaps, and other stuff that, we got to see a little bit more of it in Duel 2 than Duel 1. Yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to gauge. It's going to be a lot of drivers going to the back because of wrecks. So that's going to be interesting to see how that's going to shake the field up. But otherwise, I didn't honestly think they were that bad until the really bad officiating call at the end. So, I don't know. However you want to put that, I guess. I don't know.
Right. I only got to watch a little bit of it. Not a whole lot. Only watched the first duel with Chase Elliott in it. That's all I cared about.
Anyway, that was the duel. That's funny.
Of Daytona.
We already did our drink review, so we'll move on. Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to, still haven't got a chance at least, to watch the new NASCAR channel on Tubi. Once again, I meant to do it, and then I forgot. So I apologize for that. I'll try to do it next week. I don't know if I will. Let's be honest here. I really don't know. I'm super fucking busy with working right now and shit, and so I don't know when the fuck I'm going to get a chance to do it, okay? But I will try to do it next week. Be damned. We got a little bit of silly season news. DGM has formed an alliance with Jesse Iwuji Motorsports. Excuse me if I pronounced that wrong. But what this will mean is Ryan Ellis is going to go to the 71, Josh Berlicki is going to drive the 91, and CJ McLaughlin is going to drive the 92. The 92 car will be a part-time ride. This is all Xfinity, by the way, all Xfinity Series stuff. Yeah, that's kind of what that is going to mean. Probably still going to be backmarker teams, but hey, they got drivers now, so that's good. Carson Ware is also going to attempt to run the Xfinity Daytona race tomorrow, in fact, in the 74 car for the Mike Harmon Racing team. And the only other piece of silly season news that I had is that Chris Lawson and Billy Ford, both Cup crew chiefs, were ejected from the Daytona 500 after improper weights on their cars. So they are suspended for the Daytona 500. Kevin Roboletto and Tommy Baldwin will fill in for their spots respectively. It'll be cool. We get to see Tommy Baldwin back in NASCAR after a hiatus, but pretty cool. So that is really all I got to say about that. That's all I got. That's really all I had for silly season news too. I don't know if you had anything, Hitmaster, or not.
I don't know if you were about to talk about this or not. NASCAR came out with their prototype. Just recently, I think just yesterday, actually. Yeah, it says right here yesterday at 3:47. The Chevrolet Blazer EV.R NASCAR prototype is the brand's first electric stock car concept. So it says that Toyota is supposed to come in soon, and Ford is still working on theirs. As you guys all know, I don't like electric cars. I think electric cars are the most stupidest thing ever, and why are you doing it in NASCAR is beyond me. This picture, I can't click on it, but there's a picture right here. That is the car.
Looks kind of sick.
To me, it just looks like an SUV. Honestly.
It's got a spoiler on it. What the hell do you mean?
If you take off the spoiler, it looks like an SUV.
Well, they're not going to take the spoiler off, so it's not an SUV. What it'll be.
I know, but I'm saying if you were to take the spoiler off of the car, it would be an SUV.
Shut up, Garry.
But all I'm saying is NASCAR is going to get a lot more people not wanting to watch if electricity comes in. Because, I mean, I'll go to a lot of Michigan races and all that. Because, well, it's Michigan. Michigan is Michigan. But I won't watch a lot of races if electric cars come in. I just don't like that kind of stuff.
I don't know if they're ever going to switch to fully electric, at least anytime soon. They're probably going to switch to a hybrid option, if they do anything. Just because of still it being not really tested that much at this kind of level. If you go fully electric and all the cars die, or there's another issue or there's like battery fires and whatnot that could put drivers at risk, that could put the quality of racing at even more at risk than it would already be. And I just don't think that's something they're willing to take a risk on. Especially with how much NASCAR likes to micromanage.
Or maybe they're going to do they're probably not going to put in the Cup Series. They'll probably do it for a out of state or out of country racing, like in Mexico or whatever. Since they are going to Mexico this year. I mean, maybe they're going to do something for the Mexico Series, where they have electric cars.
That could happen, yeah. I mean, we'll see. They've been talking about going electric for a while now, and we really haven't seen a whole lot movement towards that. So it could be interesting to see where that goes, but I don't know. I mean, just on the look of the car itself, I kind of like it. It's kind of cool. But obviously, it's just a prototype, so things are bound to change.
Liquid-cooled battery. Sorry.
Well, that's not a recipe for disaster.
Which is stored inside the modified next-gen chassis. The car's suspension is also taken from that car, another common feature with the other two demonstrators. It's at the Daytona 500 right now where, when you can walk around, it's sitting there so that people can look at it.
Sure it is. It's a good way to
We need to go to a Daytona 500 sometime. Take the Live, Laugh, Left Turn podcast and take it to Daytona 500 live.
Yeah, we'll do a live episode during the race. That's a good idea.
Yes, right near the Dale Earnhardt statue.
Well, that's all the news I had. I don't know about you. Had anything else, Gary, or not?
No, nothing. Well, Corgan Oil and Crystal Motor Speedway have just done their schedule. So, that's all I could say about it. Other than that, I mean, nothing.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, without further ado, then, I think it's time to make our picks for the Daytona 500. Actually, to make all of our picks for the Truck, Xfinity, and the Cup Series. We're back. So it should be pretty cool. Lots of fun action this weekend coming up. Daytona is always a very exciting track for all three series, even. High speeds, high amount of wrecks, and very thrilling finishes are definitely on hand, especially with so much at stake in this very prestigious event. Unfortunately, rain is in the forecast. In fact, they got a very large storm earlier yesterday before the duels. Didn't affect the start time at all because of some nicely timed winds.
Truck Series practice did get canceled for that, so. And the ARCA.
Well, nobody gives a shit about ARCA.
Jesus!
Let's take a look at the weather forecast right now, actually. See what it looks like.
I mean, on NASCAR.com, it shows right now the current is 33 degrees. and it'll go up to 37 degrees at 11 a.m.
It's 66 degrees. What are you looking at? What the fuck? That's not right at all.
So who's telling the lie here?
Let's see.
Huh.
Let's do some context clues. It's Florida, in the middle of the day. I wonder if it's either 33 degrees or 66 degrees. I wonder which is more likely.
Does it actually say 66 degrees?
Right there. So no rain in the forecast as of right now for tonight or tomorrow. Though there was a chance for tonight last night, so I guess it's still possible.
There is a chance on Sunday.
Sunday it does look like it's gonna get some rain, which could mean a Monday Daytona 500. Yay!
Well,
Just what we want. Who the fuck gives a shit?
it shows it's going to rain around 3:27, 3:30. So on Sunday, and then it's going to go until 4:36, because then they'll just have wind, and then the rest will be clouds. So, I mean, however long it takes to dry that track, they could get it in early and then try and push it in, but or it could change. I mean, look what happened at Michigan. You know, I was hoping, no rains in the forecast, and then just smacked us in the face.
That's true.
But this time, it won't happen.
Don't
Knock on wood.
Don't say that.
I knocked on wood.
But anyways, with that all in mind, who do we think is going to win the truck race?
I saw this person's name earlier. I am choosing the driver of the number 5, Tony Bredinger? The fuck? When the fuck is this person's last name? What the fuck? Doesn't even have a picture, and it shows Kyle Larson's number as a Toyota. What the fuck? Like, it shows Kyle Larson's number as a Toyota. What the fuck?
Of course, just like last year, Gary's going to pick the woman driver because he thinks she's attractive.
Job! Hey. She's not attractive. Only Haley Deegan's attractive, and she's in the IndyCar. That's why I like IndyCar now. That's why I'm thinking of doing an IndyCar podcast, too. But I have to find someone that'll do it with me. Now your turn.
Man, fuck, I don't even know who's racing in this series anymore. I think Chandler Smith moved up to... Chandler Smith's on Xfinity now, so I can't pick him.
No, Chandler Smith's in the truck.
Okay, I'm picking Chandler Smith.
I looked, and he's in the 38 Ford. There's also Roger Carruth. Crafton. Jesus Christ, Crafton. When are you going to retire is my question. I mean, I like Matt Crafton, but fuck. Retire.
Alright, who do we think is going to win the Xfinity race?
Xfinity. Okay, I'm going to go with the new number that everyone has been wanting, and we got it from Teresa because Teresa's a bitch. We finally got it back. Sammy Smith in the number 8 Dale Jr.'s old number 8. Yeah.
The smart pick. Smart choice.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the unpopular pick and say Austin Hill's going to win it.
Ooh.
Because bullshit is real.
Watch Jeffrey Earnhardt wins it.
Wouldn't that be a sight to see?
Jeffrey Earnhardt's actually not in the Xfinity series. What happened to him? Wait, she was back to Benedetto. No, Matty G.
That's okay. I'll save him for next week.
Jesus. Trying to look at all the drivers. Yeah. Jeffrey Earnhardt's not in NASCAR. He probably retired. Jesus Christ. Alright, Cup Series. We will get to choose ours because I'm not going back in my room to grab the chips.
Unfortunate.
I will go with... You know what? I'll go with Martin Truex. He seemed fast in the duels. He'll get his last win at Daytona, and he'll get his Daytona 500 that he deserved.
Ew.
Because Denny Hamlin decided to ruin it that one time.
There's a lot of potential choices here. I could pick Chase Elliott because I like Chase Elliott. I could go for another driver who hasn't won it in forever, Kyle Busch, and we'll see if he can win his first Daytona 500.
Huh. His son can do better.
I could go for a logical pick, like a Ford driver, because Fords, I think, are going to dominate the race. But instead, I'm going to pick the lone underdog. And I'm going to take that Junior Motorsports car and just win the Daytona 500.
His first Daytona 500. Think.
No! Fuck, the people on the broadcast were so annoying. Like, oh, Justin Allgaier doesn't know how to race in Cup. He's never done it before. He ran 2 full seasons in Cup 10 years ago.
But he hasn't won the Daytona 500.
No.
I think that's what they were saying.
But he's ran in Cup before. He ran a full fucking season in 2015.
I also love how I just clicked on Justin Allgaier, and instead of the number showing 40, it shows 7.
Yeah.
And it doesn't show the Xfinity 7. It shows the Spire Motorsports 7.
Websites, gotta love them.
But then if I go to Justin Haley, it shows 77. What the fuck? My mind is being blown before it can even be blown. Alright. So you have Justin Allgaier, and I have Martin Truex. Those are 2 random fucking names, but whoever finishes in front of the other, they will get that point, and I'll make sure that I put that there. And I'll do it for trucks too, so I have to write that down. And I don't have paper. That's okay, because I might lose truck and Xfinity anyways.
You will. You're gonna lose all 3.
If I lose all 3, that's gonna be sad. I mean, I know I'm gonna lose the truck. I chose a girl driver, and also you chose Chandler Smith, who can win freaking races like it's no other. And then, I mean, Sammy Smith and, fucking, why am I drawing a blank? I just drew a blank. What did you pick for Xfinity?
You'll have to go back and watch the footage.
Fuck.
That's going to do it, guys, for this episode on the Live, Laugh, Left podcast. As we roll into the NASCAR season. If you want to be a guest on a future episode, all you got to do is join the Pringle Son Company Discord. Links in the description down below. Request the Live, Laugh, Left roll, and we'll get you on to talk some NASCAR. Sorry, I know it's not the Talking NASCAR podcast anymore, but I still like saying that part, so I'm going to keep that. Anyway, so that's going to do it for this video. Stay tuned for much more amazing content. And until next time, we will see you guys later. Goodbye. I promise I will watch the NASCAR channel. I will watch it.